Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Korean ebook before it's gone.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hee. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this lesson, we'll be talking about top 10 ways to prepare your travel. Let's begin. 목적지를 정하다. To choose your destination. 목적지를 정하다. To choose your destination. So here we have the word 목적지. 목적 means purpose and 지 means something like the location. So it means literally the location of the purpose. So in a sentence you can say 이번 여름휴가 목적지를 한국으로 정했어. I chose Korea as the destination for this year's summer vacation. 가이드북을 사다. To buy a guidebook. 가이드북을 사다. To buy a guidebook. 서점에서 가이드북을 샀어. I bought a guidebook at the bookstore. 돈을 모으다. To save money. 돈을 모으다. To save money. Literally, it means to gather money. Like, imagine that you have a lot of money here and there. So you grab them and just put them into one place. That's the literal translation of 돈을 모으다, meaning to save money. In a sentence, you can say 한국 여행을 하려고 돈을 모으고 있어, which means I'm saving money to travel to Korea. 항공편을 예약하다, to book a flight. 항공편을 예약하다, to book a flight. So when I book a flight, I usually go to the airline's website and buy it there because I don't have to pay extra fee. And for most of the cases, I think I can get a better deal. In a sentence, you can say 서울에 가는 항공편을 예약했어, which means I booked a flight to Seoul. 경비를 알아보다, to research the costs. 경비를 알아보다, to research the costs. So here the word 경비 is kind of the formal word, so you can use it when you talk about the budget or cost for a big project or a travel too, because it's kind of the big thing. In a sentence, you can say 이번 여행에 필요한 경비를 알아보자, which means let's research the cost for this trip. 휴가를 신청하다, to request vacation time. 휴가를 신청하다, to request vacation time. I remember that when I was working at a Korean company, it was not easy to request a vacation because it was not common to use all your paid holidays. So I remember on my first year, I only spent one paid holiday for the entire year. Luckily, I could get the money back for non-used paid holidays, so it was okay though. In a sentence, you can say 일주일 휴가 신청했어. I requested a week's vacation. 숙소를 예약하다. To book accommodations. 숙소를 예약하다. To book accommodations. So 숙소 is made of two Chinese characters, so it literally means the place to stay. 인터넷으로 숙소를 예약해서 할인을 받았어. I received a discount by booking accommodations online. 여권을 갱신하다. To renew your passport. 여권을 갱신하다. To renew your passport. Here we have the word 여권. 여 is the Chinese character meaning travel, and 권 means some kind of the book. So literally means something like the book that you can use for travel. 작년에 여권을 갱신했어. I renewed my passport last year. 짐을 싸다. To pack. 짐을 싸다. To pack. So here we have the word 짐. It means something that you have to carry. Like if you're on a trip, that means your suitcase, like anything that you put into your bag, and also the bag itself. So it's better to use it as a set phrase, 짐을 싸다, instead of just saying 싸다, which also means to pack. In a sentence, you can say 오늘 밤 집에 가서 짐을 싸야 해, which means I have to pack when I get home tonight. 여행자 보험을 들다, to buy travel insurance. 여행자 보험을 들다, to buy travel insurance. So the word 여행자 means traveler. So you can also find it in some words like 여행자 수표, traveler's check. And 보험 means insurance. So 여행자 보험 altogether means travel insurance. 공항에 도착하면 여행자 보험을 들자. Let's buy the travel insurance when we arrive at the airport. Okay, that's all top 10 ways to prepare your travel. I hope you like some of the words and make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this lesson, we will be talking about top 10 tourist attractions in South Korea. Let's begin. 경복궁, 경복궁 Palace. 경복궁, 경복궁 Palace. So, if you have to pick one palace that you have to visit in South Korea, I definitely recommend 경복궁 to visit. It's located very at the center of the city, so you can easily go there. And there are some of the performance that you can see. It's beautiful, and you can also see modern buildings around the palace and see what's the past and what's the present. So using that word, you can say 경복궁은 1395년에 지어졌습니다. The 경복궁 Palace was built in 1395. 로데오 길, Rodeo Street. Rodeo 길, Rodeo Street. Seoul can be divided into two, like Gangbuk, the north part of Seoul, and Gangnam, the south part of Seoul. So Rodeo 길 is located in Gangnam area. It used to be very like fancy street, like you can see a lot of fashion leaders. These days you can see them almost every city, but used to be like that. So it's still known as the hub of fashion in Seoul. So you can say 로데오 길은 서울의 패션 중심지입니다. Rodeo Street is the fashion hub of Seoul. 롯데월드, 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 롯데월드. If it is rainy but you really want to take a roller coaster, then you can go to this amusement park. It's indoor amusement park, so it's basically inside the building. So no matter if it is rainy, like windy, snowing, you can just go to this amusement park and just ride anything. So you can say 롯데월드는 서울에 있는 테마파크입니다. The Lotte World is a theme park located in Seoul. Seoul Tower and Seoul Tower. Seoul Tower and Seoul Tower. When you go to a north part of Seoul, you can see a tower on the top of a mountain. That's Seoul Tower. So if you go to Seoul Tower, you can see everything in Seoul. Because it's on one of the tallest mountain in Seoul, and over there's another big tower, so you can see everything. It used to be called as Seoul Tower in English, but after a TV station bought this tower, they put N in front of Seoul Tower. So now it's N Seoul Tower in English. Using the word, you can say 서울 타워는 남산 위에 있습니다. N Seoul Tower is on the top of Mountain Namsan. 인사동, 인사동. 인사동, 인사동. So 인사동 is kind of the street where you can find some souvenirs, like traditional things, and it's located right next to the 경복 Palace, 경복궁 Palace. So it's easy to go. So for example, you can go around the palace and get out and go to this street to buy some souvenirs. In a sentence, you can say 인사동에는 골동품 상점이 모여 있습니다. 인사동 is filled with antique shops. 제주도, 제주 Island. 제주도, 제주 Island. If you have 3 days, I think you can definitely go to this island. It's a little bit crowded, but if you drive, you can go to places less crowded, but so beautiful. There are a lot of places that you can see different sceneries, like different atmospheres and everything. So I absolutely want to recommend you to visit there if you have 3 days and you want to be away from the city. 제주도는 한반도 남쪽에 있는 화산섬입니다. Jeju-do is a volcanic island situated off the southern coast of the Korean peninsula. 한반도 비무장지대, Korean DMZ. 한반도 비무장지대, Korean DMZ. When you go to South Korea, I think some of your friends might be worried because it's very close to North Korea. For them, you can actually take a picture of North Korean soldiers and show them, and this is where you can see them. So DMZ is actually the area between South and North Korea. It's very dangerous because there are a lot of mines. But there's some areas that you can go as a tourist. You have to make a reservation in advance, but if you go there, you can actually see North Korean soldiers. 한반도 비무장지대는 한국전쟁 이후 1953년 체결된 정전협정에 따라 설정되었습니다. The Korean Demilitarized Zone was established at the end of the Korean War according to the Armistice Agreement signed in 1953. 해운대 바다, 해운대 beach. 해운대 바다, 해운대 beach. Seoul is the biggest city in South Korea, and second biggest is Busan, which is really close to Japan. So there you can see a big beach, like it's very crowded. So it's called 해운대. So you can say 해운대 바다는 여름에 휴가를 온 관광객들로 붐빕니다. 해운대 beach is crowded with tourists on vacation in the summer. 경주, 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 경주. Gyeongju used to be the capital of the country named Silla, which was the biggest country in Korean Peninsula before Joseon. So there are a lot of historical remains in the city. So if you want to see a very historical thing, then I want to recommend you to visit Gyeongju. So in the sentence, you can say 경주에는 유물이 많습니다. There are many historical remains in Gyeongju. 강남, Gangnam, 강남, Gangnam. It literally means the south of river. It's because in Seoul, there's a big river across the city and Gangnam is placed just under the river. The entire area can be called as Gangnam, but these days, if you just say Gangnam, that means the downtown of the south part of Seoul. So you can say 강남은 싸이의 강남 스타일로 더 유명해졌습니다. Gangnam become more famous with Psy's Gangnam Style. And here's one tip. If you go to Gangnam, you can see the statue for the song Gangnam Style. Okay, that's all top 10 tourist attractions in South Korea. I hope you visit some of these places. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about top 20 words that you need for the beach. Let's begin. 선글라스, sunglasses, sunglasses, sunglasses. 햇빛이 강하면 선글라스를 껴요. If the sunlight is strong, wear the sunglasses. 해변, beach, 해변, beach. So this word has two Chinese characters. One is 해, meaning sea, and 변 is for side. So it literally means seaside. 해변을 거닐고 싶어요. I want to take a walk along the beach. 수영, swimming, 수영, swimming. This word has the Chinese character meaning water, 수. You can find this word 수 in other words that is related to water sports or something about water. For example, 수도, water pipe. So using this word 수영, you can say 수영할 수 있어요? Can you swim? 태양, sun, 태양, sun. And this word, you can use it for more situations, but it's kind of casual or just in general situations. You can use the word 해 instead. So using the word 태양, you can say 눈부신 태양 아래 바다가 빛나요. The sea shines under the brilliant sun. 야자수, palm tree. 야자수, palm tree. It's not common to see 야자수, palm trees in Korea except for the Jeju Island because Jeju is really close to Taiwan and other Southeast Asian countries. You can see palm trees along the road, but not in the Korean Peninsula side. So using that word, you can say 제주도에 가면 야자수를 볼 수 있어요. You can see palm trees on Jeju Island. 수영복, swimsuit. 수영복, swimming suit. So, for example, if you're shopping and you find something nice, you can ask your friend saying, 이 수영복 어때? How is the swimsuit? 바다, ocean, 바다, ocean. So in Korean, you can find this word 바다 not only in the places near beach, also some places where you can take raw fish. And sometimes you can also see the word ocean following the English word. So using that word, you can say 이번 주말에 바다에 가자. Let's go to the beach this weekend. 안전요원, lifeguard. 안전요원, lifeguard. So here we have the word 안전 meaning safety and 요원 meaning agents. Altogether it means lifeguard. 안전요원에게 도움을 요청하세요. Ask a lifeguard for help. 제트스키, jetski, 제트스키, jetski. In Korean, as you know, jet should be pronounced as 제트. I never had a jet ski in my life, but I want to do that sometimes, but I just feel a little bit scary of doing something in the sea because I'm not good at swimming. But if you want to try jet ski, you can say 제트스키 타러 가자. Let's go for a jet ski ride. 비치 타월, beach towel. 비치 타월, beach towel. Even though we have the word 수건 meaning towel, it's common to say beach towel. Using the word, you can say beach towel 있어? Do you have beach towel? Or like if you want to ask a staff if they have a beach towel, you can also ask beach towel 있어요? Do you have a beach towel? 비치 체어, beach chair. 비치 체어, beach chair. If you go to a very crowded beach in South Korea like Haeundae, which is in Busan, people will ask you pay for using beach chair, the use of the beach chair. So they might ask you, 비치 체어를 이용하시려면 돈을 내야 됩니다. You have to pay to use the beach chair. Or using that word, you can say, 비치 체어에 앉아 쉬세요. Please take a seat on the beach chair and relax. 모래성, sand castle. 모래성, sand castle. So here we have the word 모래 meaning sand and 성 meaning castle. I remember I used to make sand castle when I go to beach because I'm not good at swimming. So I prefer to do something on the beach side, not in the sea. In the case, I could say 모래성을 쌓았어요. I built a sand castle. 아이스박스, cooler. 아이스박스, cooler. 아이스박스에 음료수를 넣어가자. Let's bring drinks in the cooler. 조수, tide. 조수, tide. You can say 조수 to mean tide. Or like if it's for a casual situation, you can also say the word 파도, which means both tide and wave. 조수는 하루에 2번 밀려온다. The tide flows twice a day. suntan, tan. suntan, tan. So in Korean, if you want to say getting a tan, make sure to say suntan, not just tan. So using the word, you can say suntan하기 좋은 날씨예요. It's good weather to get a tan. 쪼리, flip-flop. 쪼리, flip-flop. There might be some different words to mean flip-flop, but people usually just say 쪼리, even though it sounds a little bit like a slang word. So using that word, you can say 여름에는 쪼리를 신어요. I wear flip-flops in the summer. Suncream, sunscreen. Suncream, sunscreen. So for example, if you want to make sure that your friend put on a sunscreen, you can say 선크림 발랐어? Did you put on sunscreen? Bikini, 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 bikini. These days, I think more and more people wear the swimsuit with long sleeve, like covering most of their body because many people don't want to get a tan. I don't see that many people wearing bikini these days, but using that word, you can say 비키니를 샀어요. I bought a bikini. 구명조끼, life vest. 구명조끼, life vest. 구명조끼를 입으세요. Please wear a life vest. Surfing, 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 surfing. You know, when you see the map, you can see 3 different seas in Korea. Like one is called West Sea, which is very close to China. You don't do any surfing in that West Sea. So people usually go to the East Sea, which is facing to Japan, when they want to try some surfing. I don't think there are many people actually going there. But if you want to try that, you can say 서핑하러 가자. Let's go surfing. So we just checked 20 words you need for the beach. I hope you like some of these words. And make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hee. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this lesson, you'll learn top 10 must-know autumn vocabulary. Let's begin. Sweater, 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 sweater. It's a little bit cold in Korea in autumn, so it's good to have some sweaters in Korea if you visit here in autumn. Using that word, you can say 빨간 스웨터를 샀어요. I bought a red sweater. 비가 오는, rainy. 비가 오는, rainy. So using that phrase, you can say 비가 오는 날에는 빗소리를 들어요. I listen to the sound of the rain on rainy days. So here we have the word 빗소리. 비 means rain, and this small short means of something. 소리 means sound. So it means the sound of rain. 바람이 부는, windy. 바람이 부는, windy. 바람 means wind, and 부는 is the verb to mean wind. So that should be used together. 바람이 부는, windy. So using that phrase, you can say 바람이 부는 소리가 들려요. I can hear the sound of the wind. If you go to Jeju Island, I think you can hear 바람이 부는 소리, the sound of the wind. 시원한, cool. 시원한, cool. Make sure to use 시원한 only when you talk about cool weather, like cool temperature. Personally, I like autumn, 가을, because it's cool. Like in summer, it's too hot, and winter is too cold, and 가을, autumn is the best season to go outside. These days, because of the global warming, I think the 가을, autumn is getting shorter and shorter in South Korea, which is sad. So using that adjective, you can say 가을의 시원한 바람을 좋아해요. I like the cool breeze of fall. 가을, autumn. 가을, autumn. In Korea, there are 4 seasons: 봄, spring, 여름, summer, 가을, autumn, and 겨울, winter. 가을 also has some nicknames. For example, 가을은 독서의 계절입니다. Fall is the best season for reading. I think it's because it's easy to go outside and read something, or it's cool outside, so you don't have to worry about anything else but only reading, because in summer and winter you have to worry about the temperature outside. 감기, cold. 감기, cold. In Korean, there is a word 환절기, which literally means the time that seasons change, because autumn is kind of between summer and winter. So you can see, like, in the morning it's very cold, and at noon it's very hot. So it's very easy to catch a cold. If you got a cold, unfortunately, you can say 감기에 걸렸어요. I caught a cold. 밤, chestnut. 밤, chestnut. If I have to think about some fruits or things to eat in autumn, I think one of the most popular things will be 밤, chestnut. We usually have 군밤, roasted chestnut, and you can easily get it in the street vendor. Like, you can buy a bunch of 군밤, roasted chestnut, for only 2,000원, like $2. So after you have it, if it is delicious, you can say that 군밤이 맛있어요. Roasted chestnut is delicious. 긴팔 셔츠, long sleeve shirt. 긴팔 셔츠, long sleeve shirt. There might be one thing that you don't like in South Korea. For me, it was having clothes in all different styles, because you have 4 seasons, so you have to have short sleeve, long sleeve. You have to have a thick jacket, and you have to have all different kinds of clothes, because you have to get survived in 4 different seasons. So 긴팔 셔츠 is the one thing that you have to have if you want to come to Korea in autumn. So using that word, you can say 가을부터 긴팔 셔츠를 입기 시작합니다. We start wearing long sleeve shirts from autumn. 떨어지는 나뭇잎, falling leaves. 떨어지는 나뭇잎, falling leaves. If you're in South Korea in autumn, I think it's really good to go hiking, because you can see leaves in all different colors, and also they are falling, and it's very good to see, like, because it's kind of making some romantic atmosphere. So like if you're in South Korean autumn, I think it's good to go hiking and see 떨어지는 나뭇잎, falling leaves. So in a sentence, you can say 떨어지는 나뭇잎을 보면 쓸쓸해져요. I become lonely when I see falling leaves. 추석, Korean Thanksgiving. 추석, Korean Thanksgiving. Like in China, Korean people also celebrate Thanksgiving Day. It's following lunar calendar, so it usually falls into September or October, which is in the middle of fall. 추석, Korean Thanksgiving, is the biggest holiday in fall. So using that word, you can say 추석은 한국의 가장 큰 명절 중 하나입니다. 추석 is one of the biggest Korean holidays. Okay, that's all 10 must-know autumn vocabulary. I hope you use some of them in autumn. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. The topic of this video is, what are your top 10 language learning goals for the year? Let's begin. koreanclass101.com의 서바이벌 프레이즈 시리즈를 하루에 2개씩 들어서 끝내겠습니다. I'll finish survival phrases series on koreanclass101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. koreanclass101.com의 서바이벌 프레이즈 시리즈를 하루에 2개씩 들어서 끝내겠습니다. I'll finish survival phrases series on koreanclass101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. We often get a question like, how many lessons do I have to listen to or watch? My answer is usually like 1 or 2 lessons, not more than 2, because it's important to keep remembering what you just learned in the lesson. I think if you listen to or watch 3 or more lessons, I think it'll be too much for one day. You can do that, but you might forget a lot of things on the next day. So if you're a very beginner, I recommend you to check out the Survival Phrases series, which you can learn all the basic phrases within 50 lessons and just listen to 2 lessons a day. 하루에 10장씩 읽어서 한국어 책 1권을 끝내겠습니다. I'll finish reading 1 Korean book by reading 10 pages a day. 하루에 10장씩 읽어서 한국어 책 1권을 끝내겠습니다. I'll finish reading 1 Korean book by reading 10 pages a day. So here we have the word 10장, which means 10 pages. 장 is the counter for pages. So if you just read 5 pages, you can say 5장, or 10 pages, 10장. 한국어 시험에 합격하겠습니다. I'll pass my Korean test. 한국어 시험에 합격하겠습니다. I'll pass my Korean test. I think this is very good big goal. By the end of the year, if you pass the Korean test, then I think it'll be a good big accomplishment. 한국 영화 한 편을 완전히 이해할 때까지 매일 보겠습니다. I'll watch a Korean movie every day until I fully understand it. 한국 영화 한 편을 완전히 이해할 때까지 매일 보겠습니다. I'll watch a Korean movie every day until I fully understand it. Yeah, I think that's very good language goal too. You do something every day, especially if you're like watching movies, seeing a movie. I think this is a very good goal that you can set. 한국인 친구들에게 한국어로 3분 소개를 하겠습니다. I'll give a 3-minute introductory speech in Korean to my Korean friends. 한국인 친구들에게 한국어로 3분 소개를 하겠습니다. I'll give a 3-minute introductory speech in Korean to my Korean friends. You might think this would be a very simple goal, but I think it's one of the challenging thing that you can make. Especially if you're in a very like beginner level, it will be not easy to even, make 3 or 4 sentences. So, but the key is to just keep practicing. Like, you can just make your sentences in the simple way, and then just keep saying it again and again. That will cover a lot of important vocab about yourself, and also some basic phrases, sentence patterns that you have to know in Korean. 한국 노래 5곡을 외우겠습니다. I'll memorize 5 Korean songs. 한국 노래 5곡을 외우겠습니다. I'll memorize 5 Korean songs. Wow, it should be challenging. I think one song is about like 3 to 5 minutes, and usually like popular Korean songs are fast. I think they will have a lot of vocab, phrases, and things that you have to know. But I think that would be good practice, like to understand, especially some romantic phrases. But I think the most important part of this goal is to pick right songs. If you pick songs with too many like casual words that people don't use verbally, I think it's not a good song to pick. Some songs in late 90s or in early 2000s, I think there will be good songs to pick because the tempo of the songs are not that fast. And when you get a chance to go to karaoke with your coworkers or someone in 40s and 50s, they'll understand the song. So you can actually, sing a song to any Korean people if you know that kind of popular songs in late 90s or in early 2000s. koreanclass101.com의 플래시카드로 단어 350개를 다 외우겠습니다. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on koreanclass101.com. koreanclass101.com의 플래시카드로 단어 350개를 다 외우겠습니다. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on koreanclass101.com. This is the very popular feature that you can find on koreanclass101.com. When you watch or listen to a lesson, you can choose the vocab that you want to keep studying and just put it into your flashcard. And it'll keep coming up and you can use it for making your own test. I think, using the flashcards will be the best way to memorize the new words. 한국인 친구들에게 한국어로 엽서를 10장 쓰겠습니다. I'll write 10 postcards in Korean to my Korean friends. 한국인 친구들에게 한국어로 엽서를 10장 쓰겠습니다. I'll write 10 postcards in Korean to my Korean friends. Not many people write postcards these days, so that's why you have to write postcards because people will be surprised and will be very impressed. Comparing to sending an email, like sending a short message on KakaoTalk or mobile messengers. 과거, 현재, 그리고 미래의 사건에 대해 이야기하는 방법을 배우겠습니다. I'll learn how to talk about past, present, and future events. 과거, 현재, 그리고 미래의 사건에 대해 이야기하는 방법을 배우겠습니다. I'll learn how to talk about the past, present, and future events. So here we have some important words. 과거, past, 현재, present, and 미래, future. 한국을 여행할 때 한국어를 사용하겠습니다. I'll use Korean when I travel Korea. 한국을 여행할 때 한국어를 사용하겠습니다. I'll use Korean when I travel Korea. Yeah, this is very important. Even if it's a short trip, I think it's very important to speak to Korean people in Korean if you know how to say some basic phrases. And people will be very patient. They will try to understand what you mean and they might say, oh, you mean that. So you can also find out what's the right way to say something. Okay, so we just reviewed top 10 language learning goals for the year. What will be your language learning goal for this year? Let us know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about top 10 ways to save the planet in Korean. Let's begin. 재활용하다, to recycle. 재활용하다, to recycle. And actually, 재 means the word meaning like reuse, redo something. And 활용 means use. So altogether, it literally means to use something again. So in a sentence, you can say 재활용하면 많은 자원을 아낄 수 있습니다. Which means we can save many resources by recycling. 자원봉사, a volunteer. 자원봉사, a volunteer. Altogether, it means some kind of a volunteer activity that you do at a school or in an organization, that you do with many different people together. So in a sentence, you can say 자원봉사 활동에 참여했습니다. I joined a volunteer activity. 보호하다, to protect. 보호하다, to protect. 보호하다 is based on the Chinese character word like 보호. So it means something formal. If you want to say I want to protect you, then you can use the other verb which is 지키다, 내가 너를 지켜줄게, which means I'll protect you. But if you're talking about the nature or kind of saving the planet, which should be formal, then you can use this verb 보호하다. So you can say 환경을 보호해야 됩니다. We need to protect the environment. 재사용하다, to reuse. 재사용하다, to reuse. Many people, to protect the nature, they start using tumblers like mug cups instead of paper cups. So in the case, we can say 텀블러를 재사용하다, to reuse the tumbler. In a sentence, we can say 봉투는 재사용해 주세요. Please reuse the envelope. 환경을 생각하다, to care for the environment. 환경을 생각하다, to care for the environment. Here we have the word 환경, which means environment, and you can find this kind of word in a sentence like 친환경 제품, which means the products for the environment. So in a sentence, you can say 다음 세대를 위해 환경을 생각해야 합니다. We need to care for the environment for the next generation. 친환경 제품을 사용하다, to use eco-friendly products. 친환경 제품을 사용하다, to use eco-friendly products. So here we have the word 친환경. Recently, I can say this word a lot. 친 means something like friendly, and 환경 means the environment. So that means literally like friendly to the environment, or you can translate it as eco-friendly. You can say 이거 친환경 제품인가요? Is this an eco-friendly product? 일회용품 사용을 줄이다, to reduce the usage of disposable products. 일회용품 사용을 줄이다, to reduce the usage of disposable products. So let's break down this word 일회용품. 일회 means one time, once, and 용품 means thing. So it literally means something like a thing that can use only once. In a sentence, you can say 일회용품을 고르는 대신 재사용할 수 있는 제품을 고르세요. Instead of using disposable products, choose reusable products. 대중교통을 이용하다, to use public transportation. 대중교통을 이용하다, to use public transportation. So here we have the word 대중교통, which means the public transportation. 대중 means public and mass, and 교통 means transportation. So it includes something like bus, 지하철, subway, or sometimes you can count taxi too, which means taxi. So in a sentence, you can say 대중교통을 이용하여 출퇴근합니다. I use public transportation to commute. 나무를 심다, to plant a tree. 나무를 심다, to plant a tree. Here, the word 심다 itself means to plant a tree, but we add the phrase 나무를 to make sure what it means. So in a sentence, we can say 식목일에 나무를 심습니다. We plant trees on Arbor Day. 에너지를 절약하다, to save energy. 에너지를 절약하다, to save energy. So in Korean, we use the word energy to mean energy, and 절약하다 here means to save in a formal setting, or you can say 아끼다, to a little bit like friendly or casual, informal setting. So in a sentence, you can say 겨울에 집에서 옷을 따뜻하게 입어서 에너지를 절약하고 있어요. I'm saving energy by dressing warm at home in winter. Okay, we've checked out 10 ways to save the planet in Korean. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about Top 10 things to do in the summer in South Korea. Let's begin. 해외여행을 가다. To travel abroad. 해외여행을 가다. To travel abroad. 이번 휴가에 해외여행을 가요. I'm going to travel abroad during this vacation. 해변에서 휴식을 즐기다. To relax at the beach. 해변에서 휴식을 즐기다. To relax at the beach. 해운대 해변에서 휴식을 즐기는 사람들이 많습니다. There are many people relaxing at 해운대 beach. 해운대 is the beach in the city Busan, which is the second biggest city in South Korea. And it's actually huge. So people living in south part of the Korean peninsula, they visit that beach if they can go abroad and enjoy the summer. koreanclass101.com으로 한국어를 배우다. To learn Korean with koreanclass101.com. koreanclass101.com으로 한국어를 배우다. To learn Korean with koreanclass101.com. I think that kind of big break, especially if you're a student or if you are taking a long vacation. As you know, like we have koreanclass101.com where you can learn a lot of great Korean expressions, words, culture with a lot of great video and audio lessons. In a sentence, I can tell you koreanclass101.com으로 한국어를 배우세요. Learn Korean with koreanclass101.com. 한국 음식을 만드는 법을 배우다. To learn to cook Korean food. 한국 음식을 만드는 법을 배우다. To learn to cook Korean food. 한국 음식을 만드는 법을 배우고 싶어요. I want to learn how to cook Korean food. I'm not good at making some Korean food, so I really want to do that someday. But I think, especially if you live in Korea, there should be a lot of good cooking classes where you can learn how to cook Korean food. 바비큐를 하다. To have a barbecue. 바비큐를 하다. To have a barbecue. It's not common to see some people doing it in a park because there's no facility to do that in a park in Korea. Like if you do some barbecue in park, I think someone will call the police. But actually, like many Korean people do that inside their room, their living room. So in a sentence, you can say 주말에 삼겹살 바비큐를 할 거예요. I'll have a pork belly barbecue on the weekend. 밤새 파티를 즐기다. To party all night. 밤새 파티를 즐기다. To party all night. So if you like the kind of party culture, I think Hongdaewon and Itaewon would be the best place to go and enjoy. So in a sentence, you can say 여름에는 야외에서 밤새 파티를 즐길 수 있어요. We can party all night outdoors in summer. Yes, we do. We have a party all night. 선탠을 하다. To get a tan. 선탠을 하다. To get a tan. Yeah, that's actually not a popular thing to do in the summer in Korea these days because I think many people just want to have a brighter skin, like they don't want to have any darker skin. But some people really enjoy getting a tan. So if you want to get a tan, you can say 이번 여름에는 선탠을 하고 싶어요. I want to get a tan in summer. 등산을 하다. To go hiking. 등산을 가다. To go hiking. Most popular hobby among Korean people, I think this is the one, like 등산을 가다, to go hiking. So you can say 한국에는 산이 많아서 등산을 가기 좋아요. There are many mountains in Korea, so it's good for hiking. 아르바이트를 하다, to work a part-time job. 아르바이트를 하다, to work a part-time job. You can say that 아르바이트 자리를 찾고 있어. I'm looking for a part-time job. 아르바이트를 그만뒀어. I did quit a part-time job. In a sentence, you can say 아르바이트를 해서 돈을 모을 거예요. I'm going to save money by working a part-time job. 친구와 함께 재미있게 놀다. To have fun with friends. 친구와 함께 재미있게 놀다. To have fun with friends. In a sentence, you can say 금요일에 친구와 함께 재미있게 놀고 싶어요. I want to have fun with friends on Friday. Okay, we've covered 10 things to do in the summer in South Korea. What do you want to do this summer? Leave us a comment here and make sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about 10 ways to say hello. Let's begin. 좋은 아침이에요. Good morning. 좋은 아침이에요. Good morning. 좋은 means good and 아침 means morning. I don't think Korean people in the past used that kind of phrase because it's really a literal translation of good morning, but these days people use it quite often, especially in the morning. I think some people say 안녕하세요 to mean hello, or some people might say 좋은 아침이에요, good morning. 안녕하세요, hello. 안녕하세요, hello. This is the most common phrase to say hello. 안녕 means something like being in peace, so it literally means something like are you in peace? If you have to remember just one thing among 10 expressions that were introduced in this video, this is the one that you have to remember. 안녕하세요, hello. You can also say something else after saying 안녕하세요. For example, if it is in the morning, you can say 안녕하세요, 좋은 아침이에요. Hello, good morning. Hello, it's a good morning. 오랜만이에요. Long time no see. 오랜만이에요. Long time no see. 오랜만 means something like for a while. It literally means something like it's been a while. 어떻게 지내요? How are you? 어떻게 지내요? How are you? Unlike English expression, how are you? It's not a good idea to say to someone you see every day because it literally means something like how you've lived, like how you have spent your days. So just use that when you haven't seen someone for a while, like at least for a week. 잘 돼가요? How is it going? 잘 돼가요? How is it going? If you know that your friend or someone else has been doing something for a while, you can say that 잘 돼가요. Like for example, if your friend has a big project and you know that person is keep doing it, you can say that 잘 돼가요. How's it going? 잘 지내? What's up? 잘 지내? What's up? So this can be used only between friends, but only when you haven't seen your friend for a while. So if you haven't seen your friend for a week, but you just saw your friend in a campus, you can say that 잘 지내? What's up? Or if you just, see someone every day, you can just say 안녕, which means hello. That covers all different types of the English expressions to say hello. 안녕하세요. Good afternoon. 안녕하세요. Good afternoon. For good morning, we have the expression 좋은 아침이에요, which means the same, but for good afternoon, we haven't made the expression yet. So you just have to say 안녕하세요 if it is in the afternoon. Or the other common expression is 밥 먹었어요. Like it literally means did you eat a rice? But it's got very common expression that people exchange in the afternoon, especially after the lunch hour. It doesn't mean like I really want to know if you eat something or not. It's just like, hello. So if someone asks you 밥 먹었어요? Then you can just say 네 먹었어요 and then talk about something else, which means yes, I ate, and then you can talk about something else. 안녕하세요. Good evening. 안녕하세요. Good evening. We have a same expression for good evening because there is no expression yet, only for the evening. Some people might say 좋은 저녁이에요, but it does not sound good, natural in Korean. Instead, if it is in the evening, people might say 먼저 가겠습니다. I'll leave first if, it's at the office, or 내일 봐, see you tomorrow, if it's between friends. So, pick the right expression depending on the situation. 반가워요. It's nice to meet you. 반가워요. It's nice to meet you. If you see someone for the very first time, you can say that 반가워요. For formal situation, you can say 반갑습니다. 요즘 별일 없죠? How is everything? 요즘 별일 없지? How is everything? So 별일 here means something special. So it really means you don't have anything special, right? So to answer this question, you can say 별일 없어, which means that there's nothing special. Okay, we just checked out 10 ways to say hello in Korean. Which expression do you like the most? Let us know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hee. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this lesson, you'll learn top 10 phrases for surviving back to school. Let's begin. 책가방, backpack. 책가방, backpack. So here we have two words, 책 meaning books and 가방 means a bag. So altogether it means backpack, like a bag for kids to go to school. I remember my first backpack, which was very hard. Like I could only put 3 books inside the backpack, but it was heavy. So I remember I really didn't like to bring the backpack to school because it's too heavy. But these days you can find a lot of light backpack in Korea, although it seems like high school students want to get a backpack in a very specific brand. So you can see many people wearing the same design backpack but in different colors. So using that word, you can say 매일 밤 책가방을 싸요. I pack my backpack every night. 반 친구, classmate. 반 친구, classmate. So 반 means class, 친구 means friends. So altogether you can say 반 친구. My high school was kind of big, but I have one friend whom I could be in the same class for like 3 years in my high school. And we still talk each other and see each other. But that's a very exceptional case because every year you receive different classmates. So in that case, we can say 매년 반 친구들이 바뀝니다. Each year, classmates change. 숙제, homework. 숙제, homework. I think 숙제 literally means homework, like 숙제, doing something at home. So using that word, you can say 숙제 다 했어? Did you do all the homework? 시험, exam. 시험, exam. There are a lot of exams in a school in South Korea. I remember like in high school because I was about to take the test to get into the college. I remember I had to take nationwide test almost every month to see where I am. It's not an official test, but almost all students at a high school around the time, like they just take the test on the same date, and it's going to let you know you're on the rank something in the country. So it's not kind of the test that I really enjoyed, but exam that I had to do. The biggest exam that we have in South Korea is called 수능. That is the exam to go to the college. So you have to take it in November on your 3rd year in high school. And then it happens only once a year. So if you don't do that well, then you have to wait for another year and take that again. So probably after taking that test, your friend might ask you, 시험 잘 봤어? Did you do well on the exam? 여름방학, summer break. 여름방학, summer break. In Korea, a semester starts from March and it ends in February. So 여름방학, summer breaks, is placed in the middle of school year. So it's only like 1.5 months. It's not that long. So using that word, you can say 여름방학에 한국을 방문할 거예요. I'll visit Korea during the summer break. But like in high school, people usually study during the summer break. So in that case, you can say 여름방학에 공부를 할 거예요. I will study during the summer break. 학교, school. 학교, school. There are 4 different types of schools in Korea in general, like 초등학교, elementary school, 중학교, middle school or junior high, and 고등학교, high school, and 대학교, college or university. So using that word 학교, you can say 학교에서 공부를 합니다. I study in school. 공부하다, to study. 공부하다, to study. I think you're watching this video because you're studying Korean. So in that case, you can say 매일 한국어를 공부해요. I study Korean every day. 개학 첫날입니다. It's the first day of class. 개학 첫날입니다. It's the first day of class. So 개학 literally means the opening of a school, like a beginning of the school year. And 첫날 means the very first day. I remember I didn't like that 개학 첫날 because that's the beginning of the school year. But that's what you have to do. You can also say 방학 첫날, the first day of a vacation, to say 방학 첫날입니다. It's the first day of a vacation. 우리 같은 반이야. We are in the same class. 우리 같은 반이야. we are in the same class. There might be some friends that you want to be in the same class again and again. So in that case, so if you find out that your friend is going to be the same class, you can just say 우리 같은 반이야. We are in the same class. You can also use that if you're in a language school, because language school might have different classes. So if you see your friend in the same class, then you can say 우리 같은 반이야. 무슨 수업 들어? What classes are you taking? 무슨 수업 들어? What classes are you taking? So 수업 means class. In Korea, like in junior high, high school, up to high school, it's not common to choose your lessons. Like basically your class will have the same time schedule. So basically your class will have the same schedule because you don't have to move your classrooms in general. Like you just have to stay in the same place and teachers will come to your class. So your timetable is really scheduled and there's no way that you can choose different classes. So probably you hear this when you are at a college, because then you can choose any classes that you want to take. So in that case, you can ask, 무슨 수업 들어? What classes are you taking? So we just checked 10 phrases for surviving back to school. I hope you like some of the words. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about 10 gift ideas that you must know in Korean. Let's begin. 노트북, laptop. 노트북, laptop. So in Korean, we say 노트북 to mean laptop. You can say laptop to mean laptop, but people can understand it easily if you just say 노트북 or 노트북 컴퓨터. In a sentence, you can say 노트북 새로 샀어? Did you buy a new laptop? Yeah, I'll be so happy if I can get a laptop as a gift. 향수, perfume. 향수, perfume. I personally don't wear perfume that much, but I think people like to get perfume as a gift, especially, it's a well-known brand, a little bit luxurious. In a sentence, you can say 이 향수는 향이 강해, which means the scent of this perfume is strong. The word 향수 can be divided into two words. 향 means smell and 수 means water. So it only means something like water with smell. 책, book. 책, book. I really love to get books as a gift because, it's not only just a gift, but also it means something like someone is trying to deliver a message to me with that gift. In a sentence, you can say, 올해는 책을 많이 읽을 거예요. I'm going to read many books this year. 세계 지도, world map. 세계 지도, world map. 세계 is the word meaning world, and 지도 means map. I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted to get a world map as a gift because, it just made me think about the world outside a small country. In a sentence, you can say, 세계 지도를 갖고 싶어요. I want to have a world map. 카메라, camera, 카메라, camera. So this word just follow the pronunciation of the English word camera, 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 camera. In a sentence, you can say, 카메라로 사진을 찍어요. I take pictures with a camera. Or if you take pictures with your cell phone, you can also say, 핸드폰으로 사진을 찍어요. I take pictures with a cell phone. 스마트폰, smartphone. 스마트폰, smartphone. I heard my nephews and nieces, they really want to get a smartphone as a gift. In a sentence, you can say, 최신 스마트폰을 사고 싶어요. I want to buy the latest smartphone. 게임기, game console. 게임기, game console. So game is the Korean word for game, and 기 is the word meaning machine, device, in this case, console. So in a sentence, you can say, 게임기는 전자제품 가게에서 팔아요, which means game consoles are sold at electronics stores. 사전, dictionary. 사전, dictionary. I remember when I was in junior high, I got a dictionary as a gift because, you know, it was like in late 90s. Like there was no smartphone. It was not easy to use the internet. I remember I got a small device that I can just open and look for words. And it costs almost like $300 for one small device. So I think it was really expensive. In a sentence, you can say, 한국어 사전이 필요해요. I need a Korean dictionary. 옷, clothes. 옷, cloth. I think this is the most difficult type of gifts because you have to know the size, you have to know the preference. There are a lot of things that you have to consider. So usually I just buy a gift certificate, 상품권, which my friend or someone else can just go to department store and just buy clothes using that certificate. In a sentence, you can say, 옷 사러 백화점에 갔어요. I went to department store to buy clothes. 장갑, gloves. 장갑, gloves. The winter in Korea is so cold, so I think people would like to get gloves, 장갑, as a gift in the winter. In a sentence, you can say, 이 장갑이 마음에 들어요. I like these gloves. Okay, that's all 10 gift ideas you must know in Korean. What kind of gifts do you want to get for this year? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be checking out 10 phrases to help you in an emergency. Let's begin. 경찰을 불러주세요. Call the police, please. So 경찰 means policeman, and 불러주세요 means please call. So when you're in an emergency and if you want someone to call the police over the phone or in person, you can say 경찰을 불러주세요. Call the police, please. You can also, if you need an ambulance, you can say ambulance를 불러주세요 by replacing the word 경찰 here and say ambulance를 불러주세요 or 구급차를 불러주세요, which means call me the ambulance, please. So if you can make a call, you can call 112 to call a police or 119 to call a fire truck or ambulance. 열이 나나요? Do you have a fever? So here we have the word 열, which means fever. It can be any kind of heat, like it can be also, you can also use it to mean the heat from fire. But when you talk about your health, like body condition, 열 can mean fever. So when you go to a hospital, you might hear this question in Korean, and you can say 예 to mean yes or 아니요 to mean no. 여권을 잃어버렸어요. I lost my passport. So 여권 literally means the book for travel because 여 is the Chinese character meaning travel and 권 is kind of the counter for books. So 여권 means passport, and when you lost your passport, before or after you call your embassy, you also have to report it to a police. So in that case, when you go to a police station, you can say 여권을 잃어버렸어요. 잃어버렸어요 or 잃어버리다 is the verb meaning to lost. So you can actually say you lost something using this pattern. Say, 우산을 잃어버렸어요. I lost my umbrella. 가방을 잃어버렸어요. I lost my bag. 뭔가 잘못 먹은 것 같아요. I think I ate something bad. It's a little bit long phrase to remember, but I think this is kind of polite way to say I ate something bad. If you don't want to hurt anyone, I think this is a phrase that you can use at a hospital or even at a restaurant. So 뭔가 at the beginning of the sentence here means something. 잘못 means wrong, wrongly, and 먹은 것 같아요 means I think I ate something. So here we have the verb 같아요, which means I think, it seems like, and it makes your sentence indirect. And also polite. So you'll be able to see a lot of expressions in Korean have this kind of ending, like 같아요, so that it doesn't sound direct, a little bit softer and also polite. 의사가 필요해요. I need a doctor. So when you need a medical help, you can use this phrase to say, I need a doctor. 의사가 필요해요. Here, 의사 means a doctor, and you can also put any other words too. For example, 도움이 필요해요, which means I need a help. The particle 가 should be changed depending on the noun. So if you don't want to worry about the particle because you really need a help right now, but not make any grammatical mistake, you can just keep saying particle and just say 의사 필요해요. I need a doctor. 도움 필요해요. I need help. It doesn't sound 100% natural, but it means clear. Anyways. 호텔로 돌아가는 길을 못 찾겠어요. I can't find the way back to my hotel. If you are looking for some guest house and hotels with reasonable prices, you'll be able to find many of them in north part of Seoul, which has a longer history than south part of Seoul. That also means that the roads are kind of smaller and not easy to find because it's been there for 600, 700 years. So in that case, I recommend you to get a name card of your hotel when you check in, so that other Korean people can help you, because there are a lot of guest hotels, guest houses, which are new. Korean people might not be able to, find it if they just hear the name only. So I think it's better to get the name card at the check-in desk when you arrive at the hotel. 이 근처에 약국 있나요? Is there a pharmacy nearby? So we have the noun 약국 here. 약 means medicine, and 국 is something like store. So 약국 means pharmacy. I think you'll be able to easily find a pharmacy in Korea, but when it's on weekends, it might not easy to find one nearby. So I think before you go to a pharmacy on your map, on your smartphone, I think it's better to call them. If they answer, that means they're open. So you can just go there or ask the front desk staff to call them or check it for you to see if they're open. Because many times, half of them will be closed. So I think it's better to check it in advance. And if you just need some simple medicine, I think you can also check out the convenience store nearby. I think they have some medicines there too. 좀 도와주실래요? Can you help me? To say can you help me, you can just say 도와주실래요? But here we have the word 좀, which means a little, a few. Because if you use that at the beginning of your question or request, you recast the question will be very polite. So even if you don't want to say, can you help me a little bit? By using the word 좀, you can make your request much more polite. 길을 잃었어요. I'm lost. So here we have the word 길, which means street. So it literally means I lost what street I am, something like that. If you just simply say 잃었어요 to mean I'm lost, it means I lost something. So if you want to say I am lost because I don't know where I am, make sure to say 길을 at the beginning and say 길을 잃었어요. 영어 하세요? Do you speak English? It literally means do you do English, but when you want to ask someone if someone speaks English, this 하세요, the verb meaning to do, make your question more natural. So you can say 영어 하세요 to mean do you speak English, or if you want to ask another language, for example, 중국어, Chinese, you can say 중국어 하세요. Do you speak Chinese? Okay, that's all 10 phrases to help you in an emergency. I hope you don't use one of them in a real situation, but if you really need help, I hope these phrases help you in an emergency. Let us know in a comment if you have any question, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and make sure to visit our website, koreanclass101.com. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this lesson, we are going to talk about 10 phrases to use when you are angry. Let's begin. 상관하지 마. It's none of your business. Honestly, like Korean people really like to give some advice, like even though they don't know things very well. So for example, if you worry about something a lot, then probably your friend might want to give you some advice which you don't want to listen to sometimes. So in that case, we can say 상관하지 마. It's none of your business. 닥쳐. Shut up. It's very strong, so I don't want you to say that often. But, sometimes when you have to say, you can say 닥쳐. Or, sometimes we use it as a joke too. Like when your friends are talking too much, then you can say 닥쳐, shut up. But only probably to your friend who is a guy. 됐어, enough. When you have to make someone stop saying something because you feel very angry, you can say 됐어, enough, which means I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk with you. So 됐어 means, that's the end, like that's enough. 장난해? Are you kidding me? 장난 here means something like playing around. So like making a joke or kidding you. When you really want to say something like, are you kidding me? You can say 장난해? Or sometimes we put 지금 and say 지금 장난해? Are you kidding me now? 뭐래? Whatever. Yeah, I think this is kind of magic word. Like, when you just want to cut your interest about something, then you can just say 뭐래? Whatever. Like if someone is talking about some gossips, about you, but you don't want to show your interest, you can just say that 뭐래? Whatever. 집어치워. Cut it out. So 집어치워 make me imagine something like you grab something and just throw it away. So that kind of image, So if someone is talking about something, if someone is suggesting some idea that really doesn't make any sense, and you think that's very useless, like a garbage, trash, you can say 집어치워, cut it out. 너랑 얘기하고 싶지 않아. I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, I think this is kind of the, direct but acceptable way to say that, I don't want to talk about something with you, So I think, yeah, you can just use it when you just want to be alone and not talking about something else. 속상해. I'm upset. 속상해. Here we have the word 속, which means something like inside, and 상해 is the word that we often use to talk about some rotten apple, something got rotten. Something is not going well inside you, which can be translated as I'm upset. I feel so angry. Like I feel disappointed. Something like, that you feel uncomfortable. So, when you had a very bad event, like you argued with someone else or you just broke up with someone else, you can start your conversation by saying 속상해 when you, talk to your friend in a different time. 그래서 뭐? So what? You can just use it as to just say so what because it just means the same. We often use it. 그래서 뭐? The other person is keep talking to you, but if it really doesn't make any sense, so you can say 그래서 뭐? So what? 네가 뭔데? Who do you think you are? I think each people has a different intonation when they say 네가 뭔데. Like I might say 네가 뭔데, like because it's question, so I might rise it up. But some people might have a different intonation. Like for example, 네가 뭔데? Like so. You can feel their anger when they say 네가 뭔데 because it literally means what are you, but you can translate it as who do you think you are. Okay, that's all 10 phrases to use when you're angry. Which expression have you used before? If you use some of them, let us know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about 5 sentence patterns for beginners. Let's begin. 제 이름은 입니다. My name is. So after you say 제 이름은, which means my name is, you can just put your name and say 입니다. 입니다 is the word meaning to be. So unlike English, you have to put your name in the middle of the sentence. So for example, my name is 재휘. So I can say 제 이름은 재휘입니다. My name is 재휘. 제 이름은 재휘입니다. My name is 재휘. 저는 입니다. I am. So I think this is kind of the magic sentence pattern. You can put anything in there. You can even put the name of your job. You can also put your nationality, like ethnic group, or anything in there, because that literally means I am something. So for example, if you are, let's say, from the UK, you can say 저는 영국 사람입니다 by using the word 영국 사람, which means British, or literally means the person from the UK. And if your job is a student, you can say 저는 학생입니다 using the noun 학생, which means a student. So you just, put anything in there. Just say 저는, which means I am, and then put a noun and say 입니다, which means to be. 어디예요? Where is? So when you want to see where something is, you just have to put the noun about the place at the beginning and say 어디예요? Make sure to raise the tone at the end of sentence, as in 어디예요, not 어디예요. It's because when you say 어디예요, it becomes a question, but if you say 어디예요, it becomes a statement. So make sure to say 어디예요 when you ask a question. So if you are in a park and if you want to know where a restroom is, you can use the noun 화장실, which means restroom, and then just say 어디예요? 화장실 어디예요? Where's the restroom? 저는 에 살아요. I live in. So unlike English, you have to put the name of the place in the middle of the sentence. So if you live in Seoul, Seoul in Korean, you can say 저는 서울에 살아요. 저는 서울에 살아요. So simply say 저는, which means I do, I am, and then name of the place and say 에 살아요. Here 에 is the particle for location. If you put the particle 에 right after the place name, it becomes in Seoul, for example, like as in 서울에. For sure, like in many cases, you can just skip saying particle and just say 저는 서울 살아요. But it sounds a little bit not natural, so it's better to use the particle 에 if you can remember it correctly. 저는 좋아해요. I like. So 좋아해요 is the verb meaning to like something. So if you like something, you just say 저는 and the object and just say 좋아해요, which means I like something. So for example, if you like 한국, Korea, everything about Korea, you can say 저는 한국 좋아해요. I like Korea. I think this is the magic word to make more Korean friends when you see someone for the first time. If you like something else, like let's say 갈비, which is kind of marinated beef or pork, you can say 저는 갈비 좋아해요. I like 갈비, the marinated beef or pork. Okay, that's all 5 sentence patterns for beginners. I hope you get a chance to use some of the sentence patterns today or tomorrow. If you use that, then let us know in a comment. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and make sure to visit our website koreanclass101.com. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about 5 tongue twisters. Let's begin. 서구식 식습관, Western eating habits. I think it's really not easy to say because it has a lot of S sound, s. And it even have the same word next to each other, like 서구식 식습관. So if you make a pause, I think it'll be easier. But if you just put them all together, like 서구식 식습관, I think it's kind of not easy to say it. Just by breaking up this, tongue twister. So 서구 means something in the West, like Western countries. And chic means style. So when someone says 서구식, it means Western style. So if it's something like pasta or some steaks, we say 서구식 식사, Western style meal. And 식습관, 식 is the Chinese character meaning eating something, and 습관 means habit. So altogether we have Western eating habits, as in 서구식 식습관, or if you go faster, you can say 서구식 식습관. It sounds like a bad word, but it's not though. But yeah, 서구식 식습관, 식습관, 서구식 식습관. 공간 감각, sense of space. So there's some nasal sound like 니은, 이응, 리을, 미음, and when it's placed next to 그 or 크 sound, its pronunciation changes to 응 sound. So if you break it down, you can say 공간, n, n sound, 감각. But if you just put them together, it'll be like 공간 감각. It sounds something like that. So I think that's why it's kind of not easy to say it. You can also for sure say each one of them correctly by saying 공간 감각. The reason that it's not easy to say is also about this 그, like consonant in every single of word. So 공간 감각. So, but I think it's kind of easier than others. But so you can just try to master one of the tongue twisters. 강력 접착제, strong adhesive. 접착제 means something like glue. So altogether you can say 강력 접착제. There's a 기역 at the end of the word 강력, and there's a 지읒. So you have to make a pause. I think that's why this is not easy to say, because if you want to put them together, read it faster. I think the kind of pause is making you pronounce it a little bit difficult. So if you read this word 강력 접착제, I recommend you to make a little pause in between two words and say 강력 접착제 instead of reading them all together, because it will be not easy to read. 경품 당첨자, prize winner. So 경품 is kind of the gift that you get for free after joining an event. And 당첨자 means the winner, like winner who got the free gift. So altogether you can say 경품 당첨자. So I think the 받침, which is the last consonant in a word, I think that's kind of the thing making this word not easy to say, because they're like all of them, most of them have the 받침, 경품 당첨자. So, but if you practice it, actually, I think it'll be a good tool to improve your pronunciation. So say again, like 경품 당첨자. Always, like if it is not easy to say a set of words, you can just make a pause in between words. Then it'll help you read it correctly. 반품 상품, returned merchandise. So 반품 means returned item. 상품 means merchandise. So when something is returned, you can say 반품 상품. I think it's not easy to read because it has the same word repeated twice. 품품, like 반품 상품. I think again it's kind of good to make a pause in between and say 반품 상품 instead of saying it all together. Okay, we just checked out 5 tongue twisters. Which one did you find the most challenging? Let us know in a comment. Like this video if you like it, and subscribe to this channel, and make sure to visit our website koreanclass101.com. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. 서구식 식습관. Yeah, I can see that. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we will be talking about top 5 most popular sports. Let's begin. 축구, 축구, soccer, 축구, soccer. The first we have is 축구, soccer. So in many sports names in Korean, you can find this word 구 because that means balls. As you know, 축구 can be played with a ball, like soccer ball. So that's why we have the word 구 in the name of the sports. Other names that we have 구 is also 야구, baseball, and also 농구, basketball. So if you find the word 구 in the name of sports, you can consider that as kind of related to doing something with a ball. 한국은 2002년 월드컵 축구 경기를 개최했습니다. 한국은 2002년 월드컵 축구 경기를 개최했습니다. South Korea hosted the World Cup, the soccer game, in 2002. 씨름, 씨름, Korean wrestling. 씨름, 씨름, Korean wrestling. So it looks kind of similar to sumo in Japan, but they have different rules. I never got a chance to see the game in person, but I remember I often watched the game on TV when I was really young, because when it was big holiday season, I think 씨름 was one of the sports that you can easily see on TV, because it's kind of traditional. So in a sentence, we can say, 씨름은 한국의 전통 운동입니다. 씨름은 한국의 전통 운동입니다. 씨름 is a traditional Korean sport. 등산, 등산, hiking, 등산, 등산, hiking. So 등산 is based on two Chinese characters. 등 is meaning something like climbing, going up, and 산 means mountains. So it literally means climbing up to the mountains. So we also use the word hiking in some cases, but hiking sounds a little bit like lighter than 등산. 등산 seems to be more heavy sports or not kind of light sports. And I think this is the most popular sport these days in South Korea. I can see even my mother often do 등산 of the weekends, because, you know, you can easily find mountain around your town in South Korea and just climb up there. And all the paths and things in the mountains are very well organized. So you don't have to have a heavy gear to do 등산, hiking in South Korea. You can easily just find a mountain nearby and just do 등산, hiking, just off the weekend. So if you're in Seoul, I think the best and easiest place to do 등산, hiking, would be Namsan. Namsan is located at the very center of the city, where you can find the Seoul Tower. You can go up there very easily. It'll only take about 30 minutes. And up there, you can see the entire view of Seoul. So I think that's one place that you can easily go for hiking. 한국에는 산이 많아서 등산하기 좋습니다. 한국에는 산이 많아서 등산하기 좋습니다. There are many mountains in Korea, so it is good for hiking. 야구, 야구, baseball. 야구, baseball. So as you can see, there's a word 구 in the name of this sport, baseball, 야구, because you play the sport with a ball. I think ya here means something like yard, like outside, because that's typically what you do. I remember when I was a kid, I was a fan of the baseball team named OB. OB used to be the company making beer, and now they changed their name to Tusan, and still they have the baseball game. Yeah, I think that was kind of trendy, like many boys, they joined the kind of junior club of a big baseball teams to be a part of the community outside their own school. So I remember I was going into some sports events and met some of the kids from different schools. You can easily also watch the baseball game on TV, or you can actually go to a stadium, mostly in Jamsil, which is in the eastern south part of Seoul. And if you find a good game, you can say, 야구 경기 보러 가자. 야구 경기 보러 가자. Let's go see a baseball game. 농구, 농구. Basketball, 농구, 농구, basketball. I think this is the most popular sports that high school kids do at a school, because to play a soccer, you need a big space. And for baseball too, I don't think any of my friends in high school played baseball. But about basketball, 농구, I remember my friends often play this sport whenever they get a chance because you just need a smaller space and just need a very few people. So I think even at a company, people usually organize a small sports game like playing 농구, basketball together with coworkers. So if you want to play a basketball after work, you can say 농구하러 갈래? 농구하러 갈래? Which means, do you want to go play basketball? Okay, we just learned top 5 most popular sports. What is your favorite sport? Let us know in a comment. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and make sure to visit our website, koreanclass101.com. I will see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Yeah, I remember I was doing it once and then I thought that's too much. You can actually go up there by your bus, but if you are not Korean, yeah, because like when you get on a taxi, like they will just stop you in the middle of the path. So they will check your ID, and if you're Korean, you have to get off the taxi and just climb up there by walk. But if you are a foreigner, like if you have a passport from another country, then your taxi can just go up all the way to the top.
What's the reason?
I don't know. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about 5 biggest festivals in South Korea. Let's begin. 서울 세계 불꽃 축제. 서울 세계 불꽃 축제. Seoul International Fireworks Festival. 서울 세계 불꽃 축제. Seoul International Fireworks Festival. So you can find this event only once a year in autumn season. And I remember I was there once in 2013. I liked it, but I don't think I want to go there again because there are too many people, so much crowded. I remember even if I've reserved my seat by paying a kind of a lot of extra money, but I still had to wait for 30 minutes. I heard that many people go there in the morning to get a spot or even the day before. Actually, the fireworks itself was very good. Like it was very big and it took about 2 hours. But since everyone would just leave the place at once, getting out of the place was kind of chaotic. Like, I remember it took about 1 hour even to go to a nearest bus station. And then we had to actually go down to south to get away from the island. So it was kind of interesting experience, but it's good to do that just once. But if you haven't got a chance to do that and see that yet, I think it'll be really good to see the festival. The festival will be held in Yeouido, which is in the very center of Seoul. And actually, since it's very near the Han River, you can see the firework almost everywhere around that island. So you don't have to go to the island to see the festival. You can just find a nice spot around Han River and you can still enjoy the festival. And it's free, so you don't have to pay for anything. 서울 세계 불꽃 축제는 한강공원에서 열립니다. 서울 세계 불꽃 축제는 한강공원에서 열립니다. Seoul International Fireworks Festival is held at Hangang Park. 부산 국제영화제. 부산 국제영화제. Busan International Film Festival. 부산 국제영화제. Busan International Film Festival. I heard that this is one of the top film festivals in Asia, even in the world. Personally, I never got a chance to go to Busan to see this festival, but I remember some of my friends who went there and they really liked it because not only about getting a chance to see the movie earlier than others, they really liked the atmosphere, like surrounded with the people who love the movie, cinema. I heard that they really liked it. Anywhere you go, you can feel the kind of festival or like atmosphere. So if you get a chance to go to Busan to enjoy this film festival, I think you really enjoy it if you like the kind of atmosphere. 부산국제영화제는 아시아 최대 규모의 영화제 중 하나입니다. 부산 국제영화제는 아시아 최대 규모의 영화제 중 하나입니다. Busan International Film Festival is one of Asia's largest film festivals.
Is it mainly Korean movies?
International.
On everything. Wow.
Yeah. 제주 유채꽃 축제. 제주 유채꽃 축제. 제주 Canola Flower Festival. 제주 유채꽃 축제. This is tongue twist.
Yeah, I can't. I'm like, whoa. I don't think I can say it.
유채꽃 축제. 제주 유채꽃 축제. 제주 유채꽃 축제. 제주 Canola Flower Festival. I remember I went to Jeju Island in spring when they had this festival. It was so beautiful. You can see, because the sea is kind of dark blue and the flower is very like pure yellow. So when you see the flowers with the sea in the background, the combination of colors is so beautiful. So you can see the yellow flowers in front of you, and over there there's a like dark blue sea. These days, I think there are more and more tourists to come to see this festival, so it'll be more crowded. I think the flower field is huge, so even though it's crowded, I think you can enjoy the beauty of the flower and the sea all together in this festival. 제주도는 봄에 피는 유채꽃이 아름답기로 유명합니다. 제주도는 봄에 피는 유채꽃이 아름답기로 유명합니다. Jeju Island is famous for the beautiful canola flowers that glow in spring. 화천 산천어 축제. 화천 산천어 축제. 화천 산천어 ice festival. 화천 산천어 축제. 화천 산천어 ice festival. So Hwacheon is the name of the city in, I think, Gangwon province, which is in the east part of South Korea. And 산천어 literally means the fish which live in the stream of mountains. Because 산 means mountain, 천 means river, and 어 means fish. So I went there, I think, in 2015, 14. It was super cold. I think it was kind of minus 12 or 13 degree. And there was a small lake. It used to be a lake, but during the winter, it's all frozen. So you can just walk on the lake. And in the festival, they made a hole, several holes in the lake. So I could fish into the lake. So I was able to catch some of the fishes, and we were able to eat them alive. That was kind of the highlight of the festival, they say. But and then you can also, enjoy the food of this, 산천어, small little cute fish from mountain streams. So if you enjoy that kind of fishing, I think this will be a very good chance to do that. And also on the way to the lake, you can get a chance to ride some special rides for the festival, because you cannot drive a car to the lake because it's all ice. So you can get a chance to take that kind of special ride to the lake, which was also fun too. In a sentence, you can say, 화천에서 산천어 얼음 낚시를 할 수 있습니다. 화천에서 산천어 얼음 낚시를 할 수 있습니다. You can go ice fishing for mountain trout in 화천. 태백산 눈축제. 태백산 눈축제. 태백산 Mountain Snow Festival. 태백산 눈축제. 태백산 Mountain Snow Festival. So when you see the Korean peninsula, like you can find a lot of high mountain on the east side. I think it used to be kind of flat land in the past, but it moved something like that. So the west side is kind of flat and not that, you cannot find that many high mountains. But when you go to the east side, you can see many, high mountains. So Taebaeksan, where you can find the snow festival, is on the east side of, South Korea. So you can find a lot of snow, and also in the mountain areas. So if you really like skiing, enjoying the winter sports and also snow, I recommend you to visit this Gangwon province, which is on the east part of South Korea. I think these days you can easily take a bus or take a KTX, the bullet train, to the Taebaeksan area. So it won't take that much time to get there. In a sentence, you can say 태백산 눈 축제에서는 눈으로 만든 큰 조각품을 감상할 수 있습니다. 태백산 눈 축제에서는 눈으로 만든 큰 조각품을 감상할 수 있습니다. The Baeksan Mountain Snow Festival presents the large-scale snow sculptures. Okay, that's all 5 biggest festivals in South Korea. Which festival you want to go next time? Let us know in a comment. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and visit our website koreanclass101.com. I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Busan International Film Festival is one of Asia's most largest film festivals. Okay, there will be subtitles, so they'll understand what I mean.
I'm sure you said it fine.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. In this video, we'll be talking about top 25 Korean phrases. Okay, let's see what we have first. 안녕하세요. Hello. This is the greeting that you can use for the formal situation. When you meet someone for the first time, you can say 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다, which means hello, it's nice to meet you. Or with your friend, you can just say 안녕 without 하세요, just to say hello to your friend. 여보세요. Hello on the phone. You have to use a different phrase when you want to say hello on the phone. So say 띠리리리링 안녕 안녕하세요. 띠리리리리 여보세요. 여보세요. That's so you cannot say 안녕하세요 when you're talking on the phone. It sounds weird. 오랜만이에요. Long time no see. When you're just shopping in the department store and you see someone you haven't met for a long time, you can just say 오랜만이에요 to mean long time no see. Or with friend, you can say 오랜만이야, long time no see. 안녕히 주무세요, good night. Actually, it literally means please sleep well. So you can use this phrase only with someone who is living together with you, like your parents. So to your parents, 안녕히 주무세요. So at night, you can say 안녕히 주무세요. Then your parents should be, and then you'll be 잘 자, good night. So 잘자 is informal way to say good night. So to your wife, to your husband, brother, or sister, you can just say 잘자, and then you can just go back to sleep. 안녕히 계세요, goodbye. There are 2 ways to say goodbye. This one is the one that you can use when you leave. Let's say you are invited to someone's house. You had a really great time, you leave. In that case, you can say 안녕히 계세요. 안녕히 가세요, goodbye. Let's say you are the host of the party. You invited everyone to your home, had a really great time, and then everyone is leaving now. You want to say 안녕히 가세요 because your stay, everyone else is leaving. For example, you can say 안녕히 가세요. 와주셔서 감사합니다, which means goodbye, thank you for coming. 만나서 반가워요. Nice to meet you. When you meet someone for the first time, you can say 안녕하세요, then say 만나서 반가워요. Or if someone is younger than you can just say 만나서 반가워 in informal way. So for those who just watched the video of me for the first time, let me say 만나서 반가워요. 모르겠어요. I do not know. Let's say on the street, you're in Seoul, someone asks you something in Korean, you don't know. You have no idea what he's talking about. Then you can just simply say 모르겠어요. I do not know. In informal way, 모르겠어. 감사합니다. Thank you. Let's say you got a gift and you can say 선물 감사합니다. Thank you for the gift. So you can just simply say 감사합니다 or the noun plus 감사합니다 to mean thank you for something. 고맙습니다. Thank you. You can say 감사합니다 or 고맙습니다 to say thank you, but if you want to make it sound more friendly, you can say 고맙습니다. 선물 고맙습니다. Thank you for the gift. 초대 감사합니다. Thank you for the invitation. 잠깐만 기다려주세요. Wait a moment, please. Let's say you're late and you see your boss is about to leave. 잠깐만 기다려주세요. 죄송합니다. Sorry. 죄송합니다. 죄송합니다. 미안합니다. Sorry. Don't use this when you make a big mistake, but if it is not big, then you can just say 미안합니다. That's enough. So when you bump into someone on the street, then you can say this. 아, 미안합니다. Because it's not a big mistake. 알겠습니다. I understand. So let's say you made a huge mistake at your company and your boss will be like, 너 지금 뭐 하는 거야? 마. You can say, after listening to everything, you can say, 알겠습니다. I understand. 선생님 질문 있어요. 선생님 이름이 뭐예요? 아, 알겠습니다. 잘 다녀오세요. Have a good journey. You can say that to those who are going to take a big trip, but usually we also use that to a father who is about to go to work, and we just say 잘 다녀오세요. 좋은 하루 되세요. Have a nice day. 잘 다녀오세요 literally means please go out and come back safely. So you can say only when someone is leaving and you are staying in and waiting for that person. 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? 이름이 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요? 재휘예요. 아, 네. 이름이 뭐예요? 재휘입니다. 아, 알겠습니다. 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? 제 이름은 입니다. My name is 제 이름은 이재휘입니다. My name is 이재휘. 안녕. 어서 오세요. Welcome. So you got into the store and you hear 어서 오세요 or 어서 오세요. Or you got a guest coming into your place. You can say 어서 오세요. Welcome. 실례합니다. Excuse me. You have to catch your bus and you have to go through the crowd. Then you have to say 실례합니다. 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 When you want to ask a question, you can also say 실례합니다. Then your question. 잘 먹겠습니다. I will eat well. Thank you for the meal. You're at the restaurant, you got a lot of food, and you're about to eat. Before you eat, you have to say 잘 먹겠습니다. Even if you're alone, you have to say 잘 먹겠습니다. 아, 잘 먹겠습니다. 잘 먹었습니다. I ate well. Thank you for the meal. 잘 먹었습니다. When you leave a restaurant, you can say 잘 먹었습니다 to the staff to say thank you for the meal. 맛있게 드세요. Bon appetit. Let's say this is the food that I made with seaweed, huge seaweed. 오, 맛있게 드세요. 맛있게 드세요. 잘 먹겠습니다. I'm hungry. 이거 얼마예요? How much is this? So you go to shopping, you found the item you really want to have, and then you can say 이거 얼마예요? 저거 얼마예요? 그거 얼마예요? Then you get the price, but don't accept that. You have to try the discount. Say 깎아주세요 to get your discount. That's all top 25 Korean phrases. Thank you for watching it and please make sure to subscribe. 좋은 하루 보내세요. Have a nice day. 아, 잘 먹겠습니다. 이거 재미를 또. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hee. In this video, you'll learn about top 25 Korean verbs. Let's get started. 가다, to go. So when you are going to somewhere, you can just say something something에 가다. So you're with your Korean friends and now you want to go to a club. You can say 클럽에 가고 싶어. 클럽에 가자. 클럽에 갈까? 가지다, to have. So in Korean drama, like there's a girl who wanna get married with a rich guy and she would say 저 남자 갖고 싶어. I wanna have the guy. 나오다, to come out. You are moving out of the place, you can just say 나오다. 놀다, to play. Let's say you wanna hang out with your friend is at home sleeping. You just call him and just say 나와, 놀자. That means like to come out and hang out with me. 놓다, to put. So when you just put something, you can just say 놓다. 마우스를 놓다. 아이패드를 놓다. 대답하다, to answer. You're in a classroom and you ask a very difficult question to your teacher. He doesn't answer, then you say 대답해 주세요, please. You can use it only to mean to answer a question. 돕다, to help. You need some help in Korean. Then you can say 도와주세요. And the other person say 도와드릴게요. Which means, I'll help you. So usually we say 도와주다 a little bit more, which really means to give a help. 듣다, to hear, to listen. So 음악을 듣다, umс. I'm listening to koreanclass101.com podcast. 마시다, to drink. You can use this verb for any types of drinks. So water or soju, 맥주, any types of. So we also use the verb 먹다 to talk about beverage too. So you can use 마시다 or 먹다. That's how we drink soju. 만나다, to meet. So even if you meet someone for the first time, second time, third time, you can say 만나다. You meet someone first time, 만나서 반가워요. Second time, 만나서 반가워요. Third time, 만나서 반가워요. Every time you can use it. 만나서 반가워요. 말하다, to say, to speak. 마이크에 말하다. 음시. 만나서 반가워요. 이름이 뭐예요? 먹다, to eat. 잘 먹겠습니다. 먹다. 잘 먹었습니다. You can use it to mean to drink. So you can say 물을 먹다 too. 모르다, to not know. 모르겠어요. I don't know. You can also say 모르겠어요. I don't understand. 잘 모르겠어요. 받다, to receive. 선물을 받겠습니다. 선물. 보다, to try. For example, you can say 춤을 춰보다. 보다, to see. So you see something like you watch TV, you see a movie, you see, your loved one, you can always use this one verb, 보다. So 영화를 보다, 텔레비전을 보다, 드라마를 보다, 콘서트를 보다. All with the verb 보다. I watch some drama then. 사용하다, to use. For any type of tools, you can use this verb and also with a language. For example, 한국어를 사용하다. And when you dance, you can say 몸을 사용하다. 아니다, to not be. Anything like no, not, you can just use this. You don't like this food? You can say 아니야. You don't like it. 알다, to know. Someone is talking about things that you know, boring. You can say 알아. I know. Your parents are talking about things that you have to do. You can say 알아요. I know. 않다, to not do. You can use this with any types of verbs. For example, 먹지 않다, 보지 않다, 가지 않다, 춤추지 않다. 오다, to come. 가다 was to go. 오다 is for to come. So in the morning, 학교에 가다. But in the afternoon, 집에 오다. 있다, to be. This verb is the magic word because it can mean there is, to be, using the same word. So simply just say the noun for the object and say 있다. 사람이 있다, 나무가 있다, 학교가 있다, 집이 있다. 좋아하다, to like. So you can just put any type of object and say 좋아하다. For example, 김치를 좋아하다, 밥을 좋아하다, 춤을 좋아하다. If you want to date with someone, then you can just start with this as the first question. 뭘 좋아해? What do you like? 주다, to give. 선물을 받다, and next day, 선물을 주다. So when someone is moving in and you are invited to the home party, you have to bring a pack of toilet papers. 두루마기 휴지를 주다. For those who just moved in. 하다, to do. In Korean, we have a lot of verbs with this word inside. 하다. For example, 노래하다, 청소하다, 공부하다. Okay, that's all top 25 Korean verbs that we have. And thank you for watching. And please make sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time. 감사합니다. Bye, guys. Hi, everyone. I'm Jae-hui. In this video, we'll be talking about top 25 Korean nouns. Okay, let's see what we have first. 것, a thing or an object. So when you're doing some shopping, you like something that you like, that you don't like, then you can say 저는 이것이 좋아요, but 저는 저것이 싫어요. I don't like this, I don't like that. 수, way, method, number. It has three different meaning, method, way, numbers. For example, 사람 수가 많이 있다. In that case, 수 means number. And if you're in a big trouble and you don't know what to do, you can also say 수가 없다. 나, I. So this is the informal way to say I as a pronoun. So you can say 나는 나야. I myself. 나는 김치가 좋아. 나는 한국이 좋아. 나는 한국 사람이 좋아. Can be a good examples. But when you talk with someone older than you, you cannot say 나. Instead, you have to say 저, which is formal version to say I. 사람, person. When you talk about a person, don't use 것 because 것 is for a thing. So you cannot say 이것이 좋아 when you talk about someone you love. Instead, you can say 이 사람이 좋아. 사람 means person. 우리, we, or our. It literally means our or we, but even if it's only about myself, talking about my country, then I'll say 우리나라, meaning our country. Even though you are not Korean, I'll just say our country, 우리나라, when talking about Korea. Even with your friend, you can say 우리 가족, literally meaning our family, even though you want to mean my family. The way to improve your Korean first is to use 우리 more often. 그, he, that. We usually don't use 그 or he, 그녀, she when we make sentences because it doesn't sound natural to use a specific pronoun about the person. So when you hear 그, you can just think that it's about that person, 거, thing. This is a little bit casual way to say 것, which also means thing. 그거 주세요. 저거 주세요. 이거 싫어요. 저거 좋아요. When you talk with a friend, you just use 거, not 것. 년, ear. So when you talk about ear in Korean, you have to use this noun after numbers. For example, 2001년, the year of 2001. You cannot simply say 2001. So with the word you can say 저는 3년 전에 서울에 왔습니다, which means I came to Seoul 3 years ago. 한, one, or single. So when you want to talk about one something, like one place, one person, you can use this word with the other noun. For example, 한 사람, one person, 한 곳, a place. 말, words. When you talk about Korean, you can say 한국어, but also you can say 한국말, which literally means Korean words. So when you want to say I learn Korean, you can say both 한국어를 공부합니다 and 한국말을 공부합니다. And there's another word meaning horse with the same pronunciation, so make sure you understand it correctly. 일, work. So when Korean people want to ask you what is your job or what do you do, they will say 무슨 일 하세요? So here, 일 was used to mean work. And also Korean people have a lot of work. Usually they work like more than 10 hours a day. They also have a lot of work to do. So in the case, I can say 저도 일이 많이 있어요. 씨, honorific suffix to mean Mr., Miss, Mrs. So let's say you want to call someone who is not your friend but whom you know their name. In that case, you can simply say their name and put 씨. But make sure that you don't put family name there like you do in English. You have to put their first name. So my family name is 이. So if you just call me 이씨 using my family name and that honorific suffix, it sounds rude. So don't do that. You can just call me 재휘씨 using my first name instead of family name. We have another suffix 님, which is more formal than 씨. So you can use it when you call your teacher, like saying 선생님, 일, day. It has the same pronunciation of the word meaning work. Usually you can use it when you read the date. For example, you can say 7월 2일 to mean July 2nd. Or you can also find this word in the word like 내일, meaning tomorrow, and say 내일이 좋아요, which means tomorrow is good. 사회, society. Korean people talk a lot about politics, and in that case, we use 사회 a lot. So if someone is critical about the situation going around Korean society, he might say 한국 사회에는 문제가 많이 있다. Or someone will say 한국 사회는 살기 좋다. 그것, that thing. So it has two words that we learned earlier. 그, meaning that, 것, meaning thing. So for example, when you don't know how to read something in Korean, you can just say 그것 어떻게 읽어요? 집, house, home. So if you're in Korea, you might hear some phrases like 우리 집에 놀러 와. So 집 literally means house, home. So even though you want to say my home, make sure to use the pronoun 우리 and say 우리 집. 문제, problem. For example, like when you take a test and the questions are so difficult, you can say 문제가 너무 어려워. 저, that. You can use this pronoun when you talk about something away from you. So when you do shopping and the item you want to have is far away from you, then you can say 저거, 속, inside. So usually you can use it when you talk about something inside of something. For example, 가방 속에 뭐가 있어요? Meaning what's inside your bag. And there's another word meaning inside, which is 안, to mean the same. 대, place. For formal situation, we use 곳, but for casual, like informal, we use 대. For example, 먹을 대, place to eat. 경우, case. To make you look more smart, you can use this word. For example, 이 경우, this case, 저 경우, that case. 중, center. So you can use this word when you want to say in the middle of something. For example, you can say 한국 음식 중에 뭐가 가장 좋아요? Which literally means in the middle of Korean food, which one do you like the most? So usually it's used with a group of something. 자신, oneself. Unlike the English word oneself, like we usually use it when we give the advice. For example, 너 자신을 알라, which means you should know yourself. Usually we also use this word to mean confidence and say 자신이 있다. One, Korean one. In Korean, you have to say won every time when you talk about money. For example, 2만 원, 2천 원. So when you want to exchange US dollar to won, you can just simply say 달러를 원으로 바꿔주세요. 사랑, love. In Korea, we usually try to be a little bit indirect when talking about love. So we usually use the phrase something like 사랑하는 사람, which means people who I love. So with the one, you can say 사랑해, I love you, or 사랑합니다, I love you formally. Okay, that's all top 25 Korean nouns that we have in this video. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time. 다음 시간 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. In this video, we have top 25 Korean adjectives. 조용하다, quiet. So you can say 이 방은 조용하다. This room is quiet. So if someone is making a lot of sounds like I'm doing now, you can say 조용히 해. Be quiet. 같다. Same. So for example, if your eye vision is the same, you can say 이쪽 눈 시력과 이쪽 눈 시력은 같다. 시끄럽다. Loud. Noisy. So if your neighbor is making a lot of sounds, you can just go there and boom, 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 hit the door and say 시끄러. It's too noisy. Or 이 음악은 너무 시끄럽다. This music is so noisy. Well, for example, when you're on a bus and people just keep talking, na, 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 then you can say that, 이 버스는 너무 시끄러워. This bus is so noisy. 귀엽다, cute, cute. In Korea, we have something like 뿌잉 뿌잉. So if you find someone who is very cute, you can just say, 정말 귀여워요. You're so cute. 다르다, different. And when you're fighting with your friend in Korean, sometimes you might want to say that 나는 너와 달라, which means I'm different from you. 크다, big, large. Usually we use 크다 when talking about the size. For example, 방이 크다. Wow, this room is big. But also we use it when we talk about the height. For example, 그 사람은 키가 크다. That person is tall. But it literally means that person's height is big. 많다, many. So if you just put this after noun, that means that there are many of something. For example, you can say 우리 집에는 개가 많다, which means there are many dogs in my house. 좋다, good. When you love someone, you can use the verb something like 사랑하다, but it sounds too direct. So Korean people usually use 좋아하다 to mean love too, even though it literally means to like. You can use 좋다 to mean good in general. Like for example, 저는 단 음식이 좋아요. I like sweet food. 뭐가 좋아요? What do you like? 행복하다, happy. So this adjective have the noun 행복, which means happiness. So you can say something like 저는 행복한 사람이 되고 싶어요, which means I want to be a happy person. About me, I think I can say 매운 음식은 저를 행복하게 합니다, which means spicy food makes me happy. 기쁘다, glad. So I want to say that 여러분이 이 비디오 레슨을 보고 있어서 저도 기뻐요, which means I'm glad that you're watching this video. 화나다, angry. And then I just hear some music and 1 hour later I just feel like this. So, yeah. 화가 났어요? Are you angry? Like, you know, when you see someone who looks serious, who look angry, you can just ask, 화가 났어요? 슬프다, sad. So this adjective, 슬프다, can be used with other nouns, something like 슬픈 영화, sad movie, 슬픈 드라마, sad drama, 슬픈 노래, sad song. 아프다, sick. So when you feel sick, you can simply say 몸이 아파요. 피곤하다, tired. After you work a lot, you got home, and then you can say, 피곤해, I feel tired. And when you see your friend looking tired, you can just simply ask 피곤해, or formally 피곤해요, to ask, are you tired? 배가 고프다, hungry. When I feel hungry, I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel miserable at the same time. In that case, I can say 배가 고파서 화가 납니다. I feel angry because I feel hungry. So when I feel hungry, and plus when I feel tired, plus when I feel stressful, I'll always go for spicy food, 매운 음식. And then when you want to ask someone to go out for dinner, you can just say 배고파, are you hungry? 목이 마르다, thirsty. I feel thirsty now, actually. It literally means I have a dry throat. You feel thirsty, and you can say 목이 말라서 죽을 것 같아. I'm feeling dying because I feel thirsty. 졸리다, sleepy. 너무 많이 먹어서 졸려요. I ate a lot, so I'm sleepy. Or you can say that 졸려요, 이제 잘게요. I'm sleepy. I'm going to bed. 무섭다, scared. So when you have someone who is very strict, yelling at you all the time, you can say that 저는 그 사람이 무서워요. I'm scared of that person. If you like Korean movie, then you can find a lot of scary movies like Old Boy. The character of the movie Old Boy is the scariest character I've ever seen because he waited for 10 years to give the revenge, which is a long time. So when I was watching the movie, I was like, 짜증나다, annoyed. You might hear many Korean people say, 짜증나, it's so annoyed. 놀라다, surprised. When you're surprised, you can say, 놀랐어, I'm surprised. And then when you are surprised really a lot, then you can use the adverb 깜짝. So say, 깜짝 놀라다, which means I surprised a lot. 수줍다, shy. We have some phrases like 수줍어서 이야기를 잘 못했어요. I couldn't talk that much because I feel shy. 재미있다, interesting. 재미 means fun, 있다 means there is. So it literally means there is a fun. 지루하다, boring. The meaning is the same as 재미없다. Both 재미없다, 지루하다 mean boring. 그 영화는 정말 지루해. That movie is really boring. 헷갈리다, confused. So when you're confused, you can just say that, 헷갈려. Like you're not sure, like if A is A, if A is B, or if A is C, then you can say, 헷갈려. I'm confused. 헷갈려요. 조금 더 자세히 이야기해 주세요. I'm confused. Please tell me more about it. 멋지다, cool. So when you see something cool, you can say that, 와, 멋지다. Wow, that's cool. Or about a person, you can say that, 저 사람 멋지다. Wow, that person is cool. Okay, that's all top 25 Korean adjectives that we have for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. 떡볶이.
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Korean ebook before it's gone.